Hello XDA, Eric here, and I'm wrapping up my Moto G6 coverage talking about this, the Moto G6 camera. So when Motorola sent over this phone to me, they were boasting about their Android features, their nice hardware, and how much they really like their camera. And while I love this phone and can genuinely recommend it as a fantastic budget phone, I think that the camera is definitely where it falls flat. So when you look at the actual hardware, having a bump on the phone is never something that anyone likes, but it's fine. When I show this phone to a bunch of average consumers, my family, my friends, they all laugh because they think that the phone looks like it's smiling, but I scoff at them because they're obviously normies who don't understand the true power of an Android phone. You have two sensors on this, a 12 megapixel f1.8 primary sensor, as well as a 5 megapixel RGB sensor for the sake of depth. And they work well together. Depth of field is actually really good with this camera, and for the most part I'd say that quality comes out fairly nice, although sometimes photos just don't look like they're 12 megapixels. I often feel that cropping in can reveal a lot of blemishes, some image sharpening within the photo, and it just looks strange and sad, and maybe that's just because I'm used to my Samsung cameras, which are notoriously amazing. Now, when lighting is good, this camera kills it. I wouldn't recommend cropping in, but colors really pop and appear to be quite vibrant, and what I really like is how well the dynamic range works. I've taken some photos with some really high highs and low lows, and it really does balance out quite well. When it comes to low light, this phone does struggle, which I don't blame it for. It doesn't surprise me, but it's something to keep in mind. Shadows can get really deep very quickly, which can be a good or a bad thing, but I'd say that photos come out very contrasty, which is fine for your average consumer. As for video, audio quality often features a lot of clipping, and since there's no stabilization, I definitely wouldn't recommend walking with this, but it works well in, again, controlled lighting conditions. Overall, even though I started out the video saying that the camera is the weak point on this phone, and while I still stand by that, that doesn't mean that it's a bad camera. Low light will struggle, and even with flash, things will look quite strange, and don't get me started on Snapchat. But if you're in a controlled lighting scenario, you can get some really solid photos out of this, and if you're not a total shutterbug, something tells me that this is probably going to be one of the best cameras you can get on a budget phone in 2018. Well, so much for adding personality into my videos. This was a pretty cut and dry one, but again, subscribe because maybe I'll drop a joke in my next one. Until then, I'll see you later. This is Eric, this is XDA. Subscribe, goodbye.